question is, okay, for some of you, take your seat. For some of you, any task could be challenging, right? And for some of you, it could be an easy job, right? And thank you so much for our wonderful master of ceremony, Supriya Jha. She mentioned about the changing the gear while she was making an announcement. So the point is, I also would like to take that analogy and tell you that, you can change the gear and you can make a challenging task, a daunting task, an easy job. Now the question is, how can you do that? I would like to offer you 3 attributes, 3 intervention points by which you can make a challenging task to a easy job. You can convert and you can do it. Now the point is, what are these 3 wonderful attributes or the let's say intervention point? Number 1 is question the assumption. Number 2, make a joker plan or face a mistake, or you also face an adversity or the adverse situation, a crisis. Now the third thing I would like to tell you is you craft a humor. Okay? Whenever you are doing something, you make your humor as your friend and then you put some humor in that. So these are the 3 attributes I would like to offer you. So starting from the first one, okay? The question was to the gentleman over there, find a gorgeous lady in the audience and make her smile. Now, why it can be of course, for him it was an easy job. For some of you, it may be challenging. Why it can be challenging? So, it can be challenging because of these points. Number 1, how do you know that who is the most gorgeous here? All of them look very gorgeous. So, how do you make a decision? Number 2, you may think that the audience here may judge my choice. Okay? Number 3, how can I approach a personality like Miss Nepal? There are a lot of Miss Nepal sitting over here. So how do you go and approach? Okay? That may be a difficult job for you. Another thing is, it is not our culture to approach somebody that way and, make somebody smile. That may come to your mind. Another thing is, I may not have confidence to do that. Okay? So these are the underlying assumptions, okay? Underlying notions, or some of the preoccupied, notion which you can have in your mind. Because of that, it may be a challenging task for you. So the point is, again, there is another wonderful thing here. Q starts at the point where I stand. What is the Hindi version of that? Raise your hand, you get a prize. Yes. Say it again. No, that is not the dialogue. The dialogue was, line वहीं पे शुरू होती है जहां मैं खड़ा हूं. Okay, that is, I think, film dialogue. Anyway, I'll give you a prize. So may I know your name? Okay, so somebody may take a note. Okay, so if you think that way, so the cue starts at that point where I stand. Okay, that means with that sort of approach, with that sort of philosophy, with that of thinking, if you go, I think you can easily make a challenging task an easy job. Now the second, so the trick one I would like to offer you is question the assumption. Okay, that is the first trick, and the second one is joker plan. So anybody would like to tell what is a joker plan? Okay, let me tell you. The joker plan means a plan in which you do a mistake. You make a plan to do a mistake. It's an intentional mistake, right? You plan a mistake. That is a joker plan. Now, let me explain to you a bit. This was my joker plan, okay? I used to do a lot of joker plan, and one of them was this. This is a Kathmandu University bus. I was there, teaching as an associate professor. I used to commute between Kotesar and Dhulikhel, and 8 a.m. every day, I used to go to the, stop over there. I used to get that bus. Sometime, in order to implement the joker plan, I used to miss this bus. I know the bus is coming 8 o'clock, but I won't go. Okay? I miss the bus and I make the joker plan. And what that plan, when I execute that plan, what I would get basically three things. Number one, it helped me to test my assumption, right? Second thing is, it helped me to estimate the risk. What happens if I miss the bus? Okay, right? And the point is, if I miss the bus, is there any alternative? Okay, maybe I have to go to a public bus. Where I get the public bus, right? In this staff bus, the seat was guaranteed. But in the public bus, maybe I don't get the seat. So that means if I make a joker plan, if I implement that, I get a lot of information. And the most important is, test the assumption, question the assumption. Okay. Now, again, I would like to ask you this question. So the question is, a pencil and an eraser cost rupees 11. If the pencil cost rupees 10 more than the eraser, what is the cost of the eraser? Any answer? If you would like to answer, please raise your hand. What is our volunteer? Okay, gentleman over there. What is the answer? 1 rupees. Next. I see another hand there. What is your answer? Sorry? 1 rupees. Prince? Mr. Prince, where are you? What is your answer? 1 rupees. Okay. What is the answer? 0.5. Give me a big clap. Okay, congratulations to you. Okay. Now, may I know your name? Sorry? Pratik Chapakai. You see, take your seat. And many of you, when you saw this problem, I think some of you were calculating, estimating, and some of you made the wrong answer. Right? Rupees 1 is the wrong answer, because the point is, if eraser is 1 rupees, then pencil would be 11, total would be 12. But the total here is 11. So now the point is, you are jumping to the wrong answer. Okay, because that is an intuitive, and don't worry on that. When I faced this problem, first time, I also said that the cost of the eraser is rupees 1. Okay, so you make a mistake, right? You jump to the wrong answer, and if you do that, next time you can correct it, and then it will give you a lot of ways, and it will again help you to ask your assumption. Okay. Third thing I would like to tell you is, facing an adversity or crisis. Now, what they say is, in every crisis, there is a silver lining that compels one to take necessary actions in comfortable time that would fall victim to inertia. For example, I was using the staff bus every day. I was in a comfort zone, okay? And then I was a kind of victim of inertia, okay? And when I made the joker plan, and I went out of it, and then, I had to take the public bus. So that was the kind of silver lining, okay, of the crisis, okay. Now, this second thing is, I can give you an example of COVID time also. In the COVID time, of course, it was a big disaster, big crisis, but what it gave us the, virtual platform, working in the Zoom, remote jobs, okay, working from home. So these were the silver lining we got out of the COVID crisis. And there was a wonderful, legendary person here, Edward Gibbon, a historian in the US. He said, the winds and the waves are always on the side of average navigators. So that is the point. And I would also like to give you another example of a pencil sharpener. Okay, facing a crisis like sharpening a pencil, it forges steel in a person's character. Unless you sharpen a pencil, unless you pass the pencil through a painful process, you don't get the lead to write. So the point is, if you face a crisis, if you face a difficult situation, I think that would help you to make your wonderful character. So the takeaway message, the third takeaway message is, mistake or adversity prompt you to rethink and transform your underlying concepts and ideas. Okay, let me go to the last part of it, and then I will tell you a kind of incident. One of my IEC friend was Anantaman Singh. Once I went to his house, and then we talked about his father. I said, "What is your father's name?" He said, "Tetramycin." Tetramycin? Your father's name? Okay, that's surprising, but later on I came to know that his name was Tirthaman Singh. Right? So the point was, see, it created a humor on you. That's really wonderful. So the point is, humor is a very wonderful thing in everybody's domain. But the point here is there is someone who does not have a sense of humor. Who is that? Okay, you are still thinking. I'll give you another question here. Who is the one who does not think? Sorry? Nobody. Nobody. Okay, any other answer? Animal. Any other answer? Sorry? Bad people? No. I didn't get that. What is that? Dead people? No, dead people are dead, you see? Okay. Anybody would like to take a chance and answer this question? Who does not have sense of humor? Who does not think? You? There, I think you are using the AI, right? So I don't entertain that. So the answer here is the God. Okay? God or Almighty. Okay? Devata, Bhagavati, whatever. They, don't have sense of humor. This is what it said. Because they know all the jokes. Right? If somebody knows all the jokes, then the point is, you cannot make them laugh. So in that question, if the gorgeous lady knows all the joke, you may be not able to make her laugh, right? And the person who's going to think is, again, the Almighty. But now, the point is, so we are not God. We are human beings. So for the human being, humor plots profoundly engage with human psychological dynamics, thereby amplifying the engagement and impact of stories. So point is, there is a pre-programmed plot in every human being. So the point is, if you use this tool, humor tool, and what happens is you can really capture the attention and you can achieve your goal. So in Nepali, there is what they say is, हास्य चेतना भनेको मर्ममा प्रहार गर्ने अस्त्र जस्तै हुन सक्छ. Okay? Let me move on. So I will tell you, you might have used the toilet just outside there, and then, in a public toilet there are two types of arrangement. First one is female on the left, male on the right. Second one is male on the left, female on the right. So normally which arrangement you find in the public place? What is that? B. Male on, let us check. But I really appreciate your answer. Congratulations to you. Okay? You answered that, and because this is it. Men to the left because women are always right. So is it correct for you? No, happens, okay? So men to the left because women are always right. So if I tell you something this way, see, you are always smiling, and then you are, giving an attention, and then you are retaining in your brain also this wonderful information. So the trick 3 is inject humor in your endeavors. That is what I would like to offer you. And finally, I wish you all a great success in changing your gears, moving from gear 1 to gear 2, and then finding cheer in the challenges. Okay? Thank you so much. Thank you, Ruchi ma'am, for telling this सुन्नेलाई सुनको माला, भन्नेलाई फुलको माला. यो कथा वैकुण्ठ जाला फेरि भन्ने बेलामा तात्तातै आइहाल्ला. हस्, thank you so much.